Good evening, everyone. I'm Rudy Trevino in for Leslie and Joe. At the top tonight, tomorrow marks the first of the month, which means for many, rent is due. But as we look ahead to our 7th in the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, folks across the coastal bend are still struggling when it comes to making that payment. And moratorium on evictions are over. Well, they're over, meaning that landlords can now again take past due tenants to court for eviction proceedings. That's where the federal government's Coronavirus Aid, Relief and Economic Security Act, or the CARES Act, comes in to help alleviate some of the financial hardship. The city of Corpus Christi getting $2 million in federal funding to help people pay their mortgage, rent and utility bills. But as our Michael Gibson tells us tonight, most of that money has gone unused. So we set off to find out why.
Deborah Arsuega and Sandy Lerma work at the Corpus Christi Hope House. Their nonprofit, along with the Salvation Army, were both charged with trying to hand out a total of $1.8 million in federal CARES Act funds. Those monies were supposed to go to those people who had lost their jobs or had had their work hours reduced during the pandemic. The idea was to be able to get those people CARES Act dollars to pay for their mortgage, rent, and utilities.
And I think when it was announced, it was just announced, here's this money. Go get help, but yeah, that's not the situation.
The program was approved by City Council back on April 21st. Hope House and the Salvation Army were brought in to help people with the application process and to ensure the money got to the folks who needed it the most. But since the program began in late April, the city's Housing and Community Development Director says that only $144,000 has been paid out to people out of that $1.8 million fund. He also says that a total of just 332 families and individuals have been able to take advantage of that help.
Two of the things that we have come across, of course, are, folks are just over income qualified. And then the second one was the eviction moratoriums and whatnot. So now that we saw that those have been lifted, we're starting to see a lot more folks coming in through the agencies to get that assistance.
Betancourt says that under the current HUD rules for the CARES Act dollars, a family of 4 can't make more than $54,000 a year to be able to get mortgage assistance. So the restrictive funding rules, coupled with the eviction moratorium, are believed to be the two main reasons more money hasn't been given out by the city. But now that evictions are being processed again, Betancourt says more people have started coming in for help lately. He says that for those people who don't meet the restrictive income guidelines, there are other agencies that they will try to match those folks up with to get them the help they need. Michael Gibson, 3 News.
Thank you, Mike, for that. Meantime, the United Way of the Coastal Bend also offering assistance. So far, the nonprofit has given out more than $110,000 with more funding to come. And while eviction cases are filed against tenants who've failed to pay rent, the same does not apply to certain tenants who are protected through the CARES Act. That includes renters and homes covered by federally backed mortgages. Tenants covered under that federal moratorium have protections through December 31st.